Why most people die before 85 and how to avoid these 5 deadly habits after 60. The sobering reality is that a significant portion of individuals pass away before reaching the age of 85. And a startling 73% of those who die prematurely share a common set of 5 destructive daily habits, particularly after the age of 60. These insidious practices, so pervasive that many perceive them as simply a normal part of aging, are effectively diminishing lifespans by 15 to 20 years without the individual's awareness. The medical community often overlooks these behaviors, attributing any decline to the natural aging process. However, the most vibrant 90-year-olds consistently demonstrate an avoidance of these specific pitfalls. This revelation empowers you to understand the critical choices that differentiate those who thrive in their later decades from those who struggle or succumb to premature death. The scientific research unequivocally points to these 5 common habits as significant contributors to reduce longevity despite their seeming normalcy. To address this information will not only expose these detrimental practices, but also offer tangible, actionable solutions. You will discover 3 simple self-assessment tests you can perform at home to gauge your risk. 2 scientifically validated strategies that can yield positive results within a mere 30 days. And 1 surprising habit modification that holds the potential to add 12 years to your life. Furthermore, and perhaps most compellingly, the ultimate secret shared by 95% of centenarians will be unveiled. A secret that defies conventional expectations and is accessible to everyone starting today. For those committed to optimizing their health and extending their lives, subscribing and activating notifications is encouraged, as this platform is dedicated to providing authentic guidance for thriving beyond 60, not merely surviving. Sharing this video is also a powerful act, as this knowledge could literally be life-saving for someone you care about. The insidious nature of prolonged inactivity, often termed the silent killer in your living room, profoundly impacts health, as exemplified by the story of Sandra, a spirited 68-year-old grandmother. Sandra diligently maintained a 30-minute daily walk, consumed plenty of vegetables, and took her vitamins, believing she was adhering to a healthy lifestyle. Yet after her morning constitutional, she unwittingly engaged in a habit now scientifically recognized as exceptionally detrimental. Sandra's days were largely sedentary, consuming 3 hours with her morning paper and crosswords, 4 hours with television, 2 hours with crafts, and an additional hour on the phone, accumulating over 10 hours of sitting daily. This extensive sitting negated the benefits of her morning exercise. Disturbingly, research published in the American Journal of Epidemiology reveals that individuals over 60 who sit for 8 or more hours daily face a 60% increased risk of mortality, effectively classifying sitting as the modern-day equivalent of smoking for seniors. The reasons for this heightened vulnerability in older adults are multi-faceted. A natural metabolic slowdown of 2 to 3% per year after 60. Diminished circulatory efficiency and accelerated muscle atrophy during periods of inactivity. What might be an inconvenience for a 40-year-old can become life-threatening for a 70-year-old. This phenomenon is known as the exercise paradox. Even consistent daily exercise cannot fully counteract the damage inflicted by prolonged sedentary periods, akin to a single breath of fresh air not compensating for 23 hours of breath holding after smoking. A critical self-assessment is the sit-stand test. Can you rise from a seated position 5 times in a row without using your hands or any propulsive momentum? Struggling with this indicates that extended sitting is already compromising your independence. Sandra's inability to perform this simple test was deeply distressing, and the physiological consequences were already accumulating. Prolonged sitting leads to blood pooling in the legs, increasing clot risk by a staggering 300%, disrupts insulin function, exacerbating diabetes, and critically reduces cerebral blood flow by up to 20%, accelerating cognitive decline. However, Sandra's story took a positive turn. Upon understanding the risks, she adopted the 50-10th rule, 10 minutes of movement for every 50 minutes of sitting. She utilized a standing desk converter for her seated activities, incorporated simple leg and arm exercises during television viewing, and set hourly reminders to move. The results were profound. Within 3 months, Sandra could effortlessly perform 10 sit-to-stand repetitions. Her energy levels surged, and her doctor noted significant improvements in circulation and blood sugar. She regained her sense of strength and independence. You too can implement these changes by setting timers for hourly movement breaks, engaging in light exercises like marching in place or wall push-ups during sedentary periods, and taking phone calls while standing. These seemingly small adjustments create a powerful cumulative effect on your health. Reflect on your daily sitting habits. Honesty about this can be the first step towards significant change. While excessive sitting poses a grave threat, it pales in comparison to a habit that affects 80% of individuals over 60, accelerating their aging process threefold. Carl, a 72-year-old, found himself perpetually fatigued, a stark contrast to his energetic 85-year-old neighbor. Carl prided himself on his discipline, maintaining a consistent sleep schedule. Yet, he overlooked a crucial detail: his sleep duration of only 5 to 6 hours per night. This prevalent misconception that seniors require less sleep is a dangerous fallacy. In reality, adults age 60 and above need the same 7 to 10 hours of sleep as younger individuals, and this sleep becomes even more vital for bodily repair due to age-related slowdowns in physiological processes. During deep sleep, the brain effectively clears itself of toxic proteins associated with Alzheimer's. The immune system rejuvenates and cardiovascular tissues repair daily damage. Insufficient sleep hinders these essential restorative functions. Research from Harvard Medical School indicates that seniors sleeping less than 7 hours nightly face a 50% higher risk of heart disease, a 300% increased risk of stroke, and experience cognitive aging 3 times faster than their well-rested counterparts. A pertinent self-assessment is the afternoon energy crash between 2 and 4 p.m. If you experience this regularly, it's a strong indicator of inadequate restorative sleep, regardless of your perceived sleep duration. This crash is a direct signal from your body demanding the vital sleep it's not receiving. The complexity for seniors extends beyond mere quantity to sleep quality. Carl, for instance, experienced 6 to 8 nocturnal awakenings per night, often without conscious recollection, preventing him from entering the deep sleep stages crucial for regeneration. Broken sleep can be more detrimental than consistently short sleep. Many seniors fall into the medication trap, relying on over-the-counter sleep aids that foster dependency and disrupt sleep architecture. These medications suppress essential deep sleep stages, creating a vicious cycle of poor sleep and increased reliance on pharmaceuticals. Carl's journey to improve sleep began with the 3-21 rule. No large meals 3 hours before bed, no liquids 2 hours before bed, and no screens 1 hour before bed. A groundbreaking strategy was the implementation of a worry window, a dedicated 15-minute period each evening to record tomorrow's concerns, followed by physically putting the list away. Optimizing bedroom temperature to 65 to 68 degrees F is critical as older adults have less efficient thermoregulation. Blackout curtains are also essential as even minimal light can significantly disrupt senior sleep cycles. Within 6 weeks, Carl achieved 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. His afternoon energy slumps vanished, his memory sharpened, and his doctor observed notable improvements in blood pressure and blood sugar. He felt a profound return to his former vitality. Recognizing unique senior sleep disruptors, medications, thermoregulation issues, increased nighttime bathroom needs, and anxieties is crucial for implementing targeted solutions. Sharing your primary sleep challenge can offer insights and support to others. The impact of social isolation and loneliness on health is profoundly severe, comparable to the detrimental effects of smoking 15 cigarettes daily. For individuals over 60, chronic loneliness escalates the risk of premature death by 50%, dementia by 64%, and heart disease by 29%. This profound impact stems from the body's perception of loneliness as a threat, triggering chronic inflammation, suppressing the immune system, and elevating stress hormones to toxic levels, leading to systemic cellular breakdown. Rita, a widow of 40 years, experienced a drastic shrinkage of her world after her husband's passing at 65. Initially declining social invitations due to the perceived pointlessness of cooking for one or the inconvenience of travel, she gradually withdrew from her book club and stopped contacting friends, not wanting to burden them with her sadness. Within 6 months, her life was confined to her home, the grocery store, and medical appointments. While she remained occupied with puzzles and gardening, she failed to recognize the critical distinction between being busy and being connected, a distinction that could literally mean the difference between life and death. A vital self-assessment involves counting meaningful conversations per week. If you have fewer than 5, you are in the danger zone. Fewer than 2 signifies a crisis. Seniors face unique isolation triggers, including mobility challenges, the loss of friends and family, geographical distance from children, driving difficulties, and technological barriers. Rita learned to distinguish between solitude, which can be restorative, and loneliness, which is toxic, emphasizing the importance of choice and the ability to connect when desired. Her transformation began with the one new person per month challenge, focusing on meaningful connections rather than romance. She volunteered, joined a senior hiking group, and mentored young mothers. The most significant breakthrough came through intergenerational connections such as babysitting for neighbors and participating in community gardens where she shared her wisdom with people of all ages. Technology became an ally. She embraced video calls, joined online communities, and used neighborhood apps to foster local connections. 2 years later, Rita's life is rich and fulfilling. With a packed social calendar, constant communication with friends, and remarkable improvements in her blood pressure, sleep quality, and cognitive function, she feels needed, valued, and deeply connected. The science is unequivocal. Humans are hardwired for connection. Maintaining strong social bonds in later life leads to longer, clearer, and more joyful lives. Conversely, isolation accelerates decline and suffering. Sharing your strategies for staying connected can empower others. The nutritional choices made daily can inadvertently undermine any efforts towards a healthier lifestyle. David, at 74, believed his breakfast of whole wheat toast with jam and a large glass of orange juice was the epitome of healthy eating, based on advice he received decades prior. However, this seemingly wholesome meal triggered a cascade of inflammation, accelerating his aging and increasing his susceptibility to age-related diseases. His story highlights how outdated nutritional guidance is not only ineffective but can be detrimental for individuals over 60. The whole wheat toast caused a blood sugar spike equivalent to that of a candy bar, while the pure orange juice delivered a significant fructose load that his aging liver struggled to process efficiently. This daily sugar tsunami ignited chronic inflammation. Post-60, the body becomes acutely sensitive to blood sugar fluctuations with a diminished metabolic rate, reduced insulin sensitivity, and a decreased capacity to metabolize carbohydrates. What was manageable at 40 becomes inflammatory and damaging at 70. David's other healthy habits, such as consuming low-fat yogurt loaded with hidden sugars, cooking with pro-inflammatory vegetable oils high in omega-6 fatty acids, and snacking on blood sugar-spiking whole grain crackers contributed to his escalating inflammation. He dismissed the symptoms joint pain, afternoon brain fog, fatigue, slow wound healing, irritability, and anxiety as normal aging. Yet chronic inflammation is the underlying cause of nearly all age-related diseases, including heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, arthritis, and many cancers. His biological age was revealed to be 15 years older than his chronological age due to dangerously high C-reactive protein levels and pre-diabetic blood sugar patterns. David's transformation hinged on recognizing that seniors require a distinct nutritional approach. He adopted a senior Pacific Mediterranean approach emphasizing anti-inflammatory foods compatible with an aging metabolism. His breakfast shifted to eggs cooked in olive oil with spinach, and avocado providing protein for blood sugar stabilization, healthy fats for inflammation reduction, and nutrient-rich vegetables without the sugar spike. His brain fog dissipated within days. He learned to optimize meal timing, consuming his largest meal earlier in the day when insulin sensitivity is highest, and keeping dinner light. He incorporated powerful anti-inflammatory spice combinations like turmeric with black pepper and ginger with cinnamon. Simple food swaps proved revolutionary. Greek yogurt over sugary low-fat varieties, olive oil and coconut oil instead of vegetable oils, berries instead of fruit juices, nuts instead of crackers, and sweet potatoes instead of regular potatoes. David also navigated the supplement landscape wisely, focusing on high-quality omega-3s, vitamin D, and magnesium, the supplements with the strongest research backing for senior health. Within 3 months, his joint pain decreased by 80%. His energy levels soared, his sleep improved dramatically, and his mood stabilized. Remarkably, follow-up blood work indicated inflammatory markers akin to those of a 20-year younger individual. David's experience underscores the body's remarkable capacity for healing and regeneration at any age when provided with the appropriate support. Identifying potentially inflammatory foods in your daily diet is a crucial step toward reversing damage and extending life. The fifth and arguably most perilous habit amplifies all other health challenges: chronic low-level worry. Nancy, at 69, considered herself a meticulous planner, anticipating every possible health scare, financial disaster, and what-if scenario. She believed this constant vigilance was safeguarding her family. However, her annual physical revealed alarming cortisol levels, dangerously high blood pressure, and immune markers indicative of chronic stress, with her doctor warning of imminent heart disease, stroke, or worse. Nancy was bewildered. She perceived her life as stress-free, being retired, financially secure, and surrounded by loved ones. She learned that the most destructive stress is not the overt kind, but the insidious chronic worry that accumulates over decades, becoming a silent killer. Seniors face a senior stress paradox, a wealth of life experience coupled with the burden of accumulated stress from past losses, disappointments, and traumas. The body's stress response system, less efficient with age, struggles to deactivate, leading to prolonged elevated cortisol levels. NY's stress manifested in 4 toxic categories common among seniors: future-focused anxiety about health, finances, and becoming a burden; past-focused stress stemming from regret, resentment, and guilt; caregiver stress, balancing care for her elderly mother with concerns for her adult children; and loss-related stress, grieving not only deaths, but also the erosion of independence, physical capabilities, and purpose. The body's ability to recover from stress diminishes with age, making prolonged cortisol elevation particularly damaging. Chronic stress accelerates cellular aging, compromises immune function, and fuels inflammation, creating a detrimental feedback loop that disrupts sleep, triggers emotional eating, fosters social withdrawal, and amplifies loneliness, a perfect storm of deadly habits. NY's transformation involved differentiating between what she could control and what she could only influence. She meticulously listed actions within her control: daily habits, responses, self-care, and those she could influence but not dictate: family choices, health outcomes, future events. She embraced senior-adapted mindfulness techniques, focusing on loving awareness, acknowledging worries with compassion without feeding them with rumination. The pivotal shift occurred when Nancy adopted a legacy perspective, reframing what-if questions into how do I want to be remembered. Moving from fear-based thinking to purpose-driven living, she joined a senior stress-sharing group, finding solace and reduced power in shared experiences. She recognized that her constant planning was a form of avoiding present-moment living. implementing physical stress relievers tailored for seniors such as gentle yoga, walking, meditation, therapeutic gardening, and deep breathing exercises allowed her body to release stress physically. Crucially, she learned to identify dangerous stress indicators like persistent insomnia, appetite loss, social isolation, anhedonia, and physical symptoms such as chest pain or severe headaches. The results were profound. Her cortisol levels normalized, blood pressure dropped, sleep improved dramatically, and she learned to coexist with uncertainty without being consumed by it, transitioning from hours of worry to engaging in meaningful activities. Identifying your primary stressor can be a powerful step toward collective support and reduction. 2 years have passed since Sandra, Carl, Rita, David, and Nancy confronted these 5 deadly habits, and their transformations offer a compelling testament to what is achievable. Sandra, now 70, leads senior hiking groups in the Rocky Mountains, a remarkable feat for someone who once struggled to stand unassisted. Her energy levels surpass those of her 50s, and she inspires others with her regained physical prowess. Carl, 74, enjoys 8 hours of uninterrupted restorative sleep nightly, waking up mentally sharp. His cognitive function has improved, defying age-related expectations. Rita, 67, boasts a social calendar so full that she must schedule downtime. She has become a sought-after mentor, sharing her wisdom and life skills, her sense of purpose and connection radiating vibrant vitality. David, 76, has been weaned off 3 of his previous medications, his inflammatory markers mirroring those of a healthy 50-year-old. His energy is sustained, his mind is clear, and his joint pain has virtually vanished. He feels 20 years younger. Nancy, 71, has transformed from a chronic worrier into a serene beacon of wisdom in her community, leading stress reduction workshops and finding profound joy in helping others overcome anxiety. Her blood pressure is optimal and she exudes calm confidence. What is particularly striking is the synergistic effect of addressing these habits. When Sandra increased her physical activity, her sleep naturally improved. Carl's better sleep subsequently reduced his stress levels. Rita's increased social engagement boosted her motivation for healthy eating. David's reduction in inflammation provided the energy for exercise. NY's stress management positively impacted every facet of her health. The compounded benefits of breaking these habits are extraordinary. Research from Harvard's study of adult development indicates that individuals who avoid these 5 detrimental habits live on average 12 to 15 years longer. And more importantly, they live those extra years with vitality, independence, and joy. The ripple effect extends beyond personal well-being. Their families experience less worry. Their grandchildren benefit from engaged grandparents, and their communities are enriched by their contributions. Your own transformation can begin immediately. Within the first week, you will likely notice enhanced energy from improved movement and sleep. By the first month, inflammation will decrease and social connections will begin to strengthen. Within 6 months, the cumulative impact will be undeniable. You will appear younger, feel stronger, and think more clearly than you have in years. The most empowering realization from these stories is that it is never too late to initiate change. Regardless of your age, your body possesses an exceptional capacity for healing and regeneration when detrimental factors are removed and supportive ones are introduced. If this information has illuminated habits that may be diminishing your lifespan, please express your appreciation by liking this video, signaling your desire for more life-changing content. Sharing this video is a profound act of kindness, as these 5 deadly habits are silently shortening lives worldwide, and collective awareness can foster change. Subscribe and activate the notification bell to stay informed. In the comments section, reflect on which of these 5 habits resonates most with your personal experience and commit to one small change you will implement today. Every comment is read, and your story might be the catalyst for someone else's life-saving journey. Remember this fundamental truth: your most vibrant and healthy years may still lie ahead.